والعاقبة للمتقين اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على عبدك ورسولك محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. The Prophet ﷺ said, خُذُوا الْقُرْآنَ مِنْ أَرْبَعَةٍ. Learn the Quran from 4 people. This is trivia. Who are those 4 people? Abdullah ibn Abbas radiallahu anhuma? No, not in this hadith. Even though he is Habrul Quran. Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhu, good, that's 1. Ubay ibn Ka'ab radiallahu anhu, that's 2. This is like a fundraiser now. 3rd, Mu'adh ibn Jabal radiallahu anhu, and the 4th one? Always the toughest one. No? No? Salim Mawla Abi Hudayfa. May Allah be pleased with them. So Salim, Mu'adh, Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, and Ubay ibn Ka'ab. These are the 4 people. In this authentic narration, the Prophet ﷺ said, take the Quran from these 4 people. Now, Salim radiallahu ta'ala anhu was martyred in the battle of Yamama, very famously along with Abi Hudayfa radiallahu ta'ala anhu. A beautiful story of 2 men who came from Mecca together, and they were lifelong, friends, subhanAllah. Salim is the soulmate in such a beautiful way, right, of this family of Abu Hudayfa, and there's a story behind that. So Salim radiallahu ta'ala anhu was killed early on, was martyred early on. Mu'adh ibn Jabal radiallahu ta'ala anhu, the Prophet ﷺ sent him to Yemen. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be with our brothers and sisters in Yemen. Allahumma ameen. So that leaves 2, Ubay ibn Ka'ab radiallahu ta'ala anhu, and Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiallahu ta'ala anhu. Why am I giving you this context? Because sometimes we have discussions and it's important to put it in a seerah context. When Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu gathered the Muslims for Taraweeh, meaning people were praying Taraweeh in pockets, and he gathered them behind one imam, he chose Ubay ibn Ka'ab radiallahu ta'ala anhu. And Ubay ibn Ka'ab radiallahu ta'ala anhu is the one, so if you were to pray Taraweeh in Medina, just imagine yourself just a few years after the death of the Prophet ﷺ, you would be praying behind Ubay ibn Ka'ab radiallahu anhu. Ubay ibn Ka'ab radiallahu ta'ala anhu is the one who famously swore that Laylatul Qadr was on the 27th night. He swore by Allah that Laylatul Qadr was on the 27th night. So what usually happens when 2 people have a difference of opinion, or you've got, like, you go to a scholar and you ask him something and you want to see if someone else is going to say something different, you just get that answer and then you go to someone else and you don't tell the other person that you asked that person, right? You just ask them, what's your opinion? And then you go back to the first person and you say, hey, well, that person said this. Right, Sheikh Yasser, it happens all the time. You know? That person said this, that person said that person said this, right? So they go to Abdullah bin Mas'ud radiallahu anhu, the second person who fits this description that the Prophet ﷺ mentioned. And they asked him, when is Laylatul Qadr? And you can see the personalities come out. Abdullah bin Mas'ud radiallahu ta'ala anhu said, Man yaqum al-layl, whoever stands, Man yaqum al-hawl, whoever stands the entire year in prayer, yusib Laylatul Qadr, then he will catch Laylatul Qadr. So he said, pray every night of the year, and you'll get Laylatul Qadr. SubhanAllah, look at the difference. Ubay ibn Ka'ab is in the masjid saying, Wallahi, it's the 27th night. Abdullah ibn Mas'ud is not even telling you Ramadan. He said, any night of the year. You want to catch Laylatul Qadr? Pray every single night of the year. Man yaqum al-hawl, whoever prays the whole year, you'll catch Laylatul Qadr. So they go back to Ubay ibn Ka'ab. Abu al-Mundhir is his kunya. And they say, Ya Abu al-Mundhir, Akhakh ibn Mas'ud. Oh, Abu al-Mundhir, your brother Ibn Mas'ud says, Man yaqum al-hawl, whoever stands the whole year will catch Laylatul Qadr. And he responds, and he says, my brother Abdullah ibn Mas'ud did not want people yattakilu, to get lazy. He didn't want people to get lazy. But he said, but he knows that Laylatul Qadr is in the last 10 nights of Ramadan, and that it's one of the odd nights, and that is the 27th night. He said that about Abdullah ibn Mas'ud. I'll give you another incident to give you a little bit of perspective on this entire discussion about the attitude that the companions were talking about. Because it's not the answer, it's the attitude. Allah Azza wa Jalla says, Hafidhu ala salat al-wusta. Guard, particularly, the middle prayer. What is salat al-wusta? Salat al-asr? Or, what's the other opinion? Salatul Fajr. Wusta means the middle, but it also means the best. And so there is an opinion that Salatul Fajr is al-Wusta. The Prophet ﷺ said, Man salla al-bardain dakhla al-jannah, whoever prays the two cool prayers, Fajr and Asr, will enter paradise. And in the Quran, al-Fajr kana mashhuda. The recitation of Fajr is witnessed by the angels. So some of the scholars say Salatul Wusta is actually Fajr prayer. Now, you go to Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu ta'ala anhu with this type of a question. And you say, which one is Salatul Wusta? Which one is the prayer of Salatul Wusta? What do you think an answer is? He said, I have a better idea for you. Why don't you guard all of the prayers? Tuhafid ala Salatul Wusta. And you'll naturally guard a Salatul Wusta. Why are you trying to find this cheat code? Why are you trying to find a hack? Like the Prophet ﷺ, when he says, Man salla al-bardain, whoever prays the two cool prayers will enter paradise. If you only pray Fajr and Asr, are you even a Muslim? Debatable. Right? But it's certainly not a pathway to Jannah. We know it's 5 prayers. When something is emphasized, that does not mean it's to the neglect of the others. And the Sahaba hated the attitude. By the way, on Salatul Wusta, the correct opinion is that it's Salatul Asr, because the Prophet ﷺ mentioned in the famous incident of the trench about missing Salatul Wusta, meaning Asr, that being delayed upon Salatul Wusta. But the point is, dear brothers and sisters, the Sahaba did not like this attitude of singling something out and trying to put so much emphasis on it that you make it like a cheat code. Because Islam is a way of life, it's not a single night. Salah is a daily practice of 5 prayers, it's not this one special prayer. We don't believe in hacks in Islam. We believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mandated and made obligatory what is blessed, and Allah Azza wa Jal has made beautiful certain opportunities where there is opportunity for more blessing. But at the same time, we don't believe in hacks. And so when you would go to the Sahaba with a question like that, so you think it's tonight? Imagine standing in front of Umar ibn Khattab, or standing in front of Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, saying, so I heard it's the 27th night. Is it 27th night? Like, let me know, give me the inside information, the inside scoop, so that when everybody else is still pursuing 28, 29, 30, I can go to sleep, because I already got the inside information. They hated that attitude. Now, with all that being said, with the 27th night, there are multiple opinions, as I mentioned in the very beginning of the first 10 nights, that there are multiple opinions as to whether or not Laylatul Qadr is this night or that night, or does it change from the odd nights. There are over 40 opinions that Hafid ibn Hajar rahimahullah narrated. The opinion of my teachers, and the one that I believe to be the most correct, and Allah knows best, is that it does change, but still you could still say Laylatul Qadr, that Laylatul Sab'a wa Ashreen, the 27th night, with all other factors aside, is Arja Layla, the most hoped for night. Meaning no other factors. So you know, this year the 21st night fell on Laylatul Jum'ah. There are other signs that come with other nights. We know the famous narration where it ended up happening on the 23rd night in the time of the Prophet ﷺ. But all nights put together, that of course there's something about the 27th night, and there is evidence to that. The Prophet ﷺ in the hadith of Nu'man ibn Bashir prayed on the 23rd night, the 25th night, the 27th night. He mentioned the lengthening of the Prophet ﷺ's prayer on the 27th night to the point that we thought we were going to miss the suhoor. There's something to it. The old man who came to the Prophet ﷺ and told the Prophet ﷺ, I can't pray all of the nights equally, I have circumstances. Eventually the Prophet ﷺ ends up saying to him, Alayka bis-sabi'a, then focus on the 7th, the 27th night. If that's all you have, if you can only go for it on that one night, then you go for it on that one night. But we're not that old man. We're not in this situation. So think like you're sitting in front of Abdullah ibn Mas'ud and asking him, so is it the 27th night? He says, why don't you just pray every night of the year? And you'll catch Laylatul Qadr. But at the same time, when you're in the night, you need the focus. And so like I said to you on the 21st night, I said I want you to forget all what I said about Laylatul Jum'ah and the 21st night, or an odd night coinciding, once it's over. When you start, push yourself. Say, tonight is Laylatul Jum'ah. Tonight is an odd night. Now that it's over, put it in the books. Tonight, now that we're starting the 27th night, so those of you that will watch this recording after, forget everything I said. Those of us that are starting the 27th night, yes, there is a lot that's attached to the 27th night. And even if we can't definitively say that it's Laylatul Qadr, it is a beautiful, powerful night of the blessed 10 nights. And to have a man of the caliber of Ubay ibn Ka'b radiallahu ta'ala anhu, swearing by Allah that it's the night, that's not to be taken lightly. So we ask Allah Azza wa Jal to allow us to catch it, whether it is tonight or whether it is another night. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to write down for us its full reward. Allahumma ameen. Please don't come to me afterwards and say, so you're saying it's the 27th night. I'm saying push yourself on the 27th night and push yourself with the nights that remain. Barakallahu feekum. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.